إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا بني آدم قد أنزلنا عليكم لباسا يواري سوآتكم وريشا ولباس التقوى ذلك خير. صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. My dear respected listeners, it is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has created us into this world and surrounded us with His blessings. He has given us a life of plenty and abundance, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cares for us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects us, and through His special mercy He enables us to come to His house and express our submission before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among the many blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one particular blessing, which in fact Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also counted in His blessed book as one of His great major signs, ayatum min ayatillah, a sign from among the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is libas. Libas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has introduced to us in this ayah that I recited. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that, O humankind. So it's not only about Muslims, it's about all children of Adam. We have given you libas. We have given you covering. Yuwari sawatikum. The first and the foremost purpose of this libas is to cover what needs to be covered. To cover what needs to be covered. Your things of shame. Your things that nature dictates you need to keep hidden from public. Warisha. Another purpose of this dress that we have given you as a special gift and a sign from among our signs is to give you beauty. With this dress, you achieve something which is called zina. You beautify yourself. وَلِبَاسُ التَّقْوَى ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ. And at the core of this need to cover yourself, to keep your hidden parts hidden, is taqwa, is the reverence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the regard that you should have for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and because of which you should stay away from all sins and avenues of sins, places of sins, those things that take you closer to disobedience. In the next ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has reminded human beings, and the beauty of the Quran is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins this ayah with saying, Ya bani Adam, all of you are children to Adam. And remember what happened with Adam, ala nabiyyina wa alayhi salatu wassalam, that shaitan, whom Allah is testifying and proving to us that it is your enemy and your lifelong enemy, he caused them to do something that made them lose their dress, that made them lose their covering. So Hazrat Adam and Hazrat Hawwa alayhim as-salam, Shaitan caused them to partake from a forbidden tree, and the result of it first and foremost was that their covering, their libas, was taken away. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to think about that moment, to remind ourselves about that moment, that this is how shaitan works. This is the mode of function, how shaitan achieves its targets, to make you dress less, to make you lose your covering. And Allah is saying that shaitan is definitely your open enemy. You are foolish if you do not see this. Think about what he did to Adam, your father. Ala Nabina alayhi salatu wassalam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting us towards covering us, and shaitan always invites us to uncover ourselves. In fact, the first command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that applies to a person when they accept Islam, when they say the Shahada, before Salah, before Siyam, before anything else, before even purifying yourself, is to cover yourself. The protection and the covering of what needs to be covered is the first command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that applies to a human being. And this is the beginning of Haya. When a person has Iman, they have to have Haya. They have to have shame and regard for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam saw one of his companions instructing another one, telling them about Haya. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam passed by and he said, leave him, leave him. Haya comes only from Iman. If he has Iman, he will definitely have Haya. Another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ has said that Haya and Iman are together. Haya and Iman, Qurana jami'an. They are situated right next to each other, together with each other. If one is taken away, the other is taken away. So Haya is because of Iman, and when there is no Haya, there is no Iman either. If Haya is taken away, if Haya goes away, Iman also goes away. So my dear respected brothers, we have to think before Zul Hajj and before the Eid al-Adha, this discourse that was being presented to you is that today, in today's world, we have so many trials and tribulations, new thoughts being put in our minds and in the minds of our children particularly, which tell us that the way to live in this world is to live shamelessly, is to deviate from the nature that has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and openly commit acts of shamelessness. Talk about things of shamelessness and do acts of shamelessness. We have to remember that our Iman is secure because of shame, because of having regard for Haya. And Shaitan, in fact, these ayat that I recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also gone to that extent where He has said that Shaitan is going to use the kuffar. Shaitan is going to use the disbelievers to take and snatch your libas away from you, your Haya away from you. This is how Shaitan works. So Shaitan is not going to come directly to you and say that give up La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Or the group of Shaitan, the workers of Shaitan in human form. They are not going to come to you and say give up La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, stop being a Muslim. They are going to work on taking away our Haya. They are going to work on taking away our shame and our regard for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when that is gone, our Prophet, the most truthful of the truthful ones, whose not even a single word can ever be false, he has declared that if haya and modesty and shame goes away, your iman will definitely go away. No matter how much you want to protect it, it will go away. So the only way to protect iman is to protect haya in ourselves and in our future generations. Keep them away from places of immodesty, from things of vulgarity. And the attacks of shaitan and the group of shaitan are very subtle, very subtle. Senseless parents come to us and say that our child only watches cartoons. Have you ever watched that cartoon yourself? Have you ever watched that animation yourself? Look, if you look at those things that are very benign and innocent on the outside, you look through them and you will see what kind of indirect messages they are giving and putting in the minds of your children.
It's 1:21 p.m.
Thank you. I have 4 more minutes. So, the shaitan and the workers of shaitan, they are not going to come and say, stop being a Muslim. They are going to work on your future generations and indirectly put in their minds right from the beginning things of immodesty and shamelessness. The Prophet ﷺ has said that haya only brings goodness. Haya, modesty, regard for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only brings goodness. So we understand that the opposite is also true. Lack of haya always brings evil. Always brings evil. You subtract haya from the personality of yourself and your children, there will definitely be evil in this world. There will definitely be deviation from nature in this world. So the core of all of these problems is lack of haya, lack of libas, lack of covering. And think about it, the kind of dresses that we give to our children to wear and that we put on ourselves. Ask yourself this question when you stand before the mirror. Are you trying to cover yourself or are you trying to show what is supposed to be covered? The dresses that are being made prevalent in the society, do they really, in letter and spirit, do they cover us or do they expose and do they further bring out those things, our body that needs to be covered? Right from a very young age, we are making our children wear those things. Can you stand and look yourself in the mirror and say that yes, this is a libas of haya. This is the libas, this is the covering that my Allah would have wanted me to put on. This is the covering that my Allah wants to see me in. Can you answer that question in this way? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. The meaning of haya, which is attached to iman inseparably. The Prophet ﷺ has told us that meaning. And if we go in the detail of this hadith and apply it to our lives, inshallah we'll find the solution to everything. The Prophet ﷺ asked his Sahaba, and maybe I've mentioned this hadith before. The Prophet ﷺ asked his Sahaba that do haya from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do you do haya from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They said, paraphrasing the hadith more or less meaning, that Ya Rasulullah, alhamdulillah, we have haya, we have regard, we have shame for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ said, no, this is not the meaning of haya. The meaning of haya is that the head and whatever is in the head. What does that mean? What is going on, your thoughts, what you are thinking, what you are planning. And the stomach and whatever you put in the stomach. You fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have regard for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these regards. Before you think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before you eat or drink, you think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And further, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that whoever has haya will prefer the hereafter and what is coming after the death over this life. And you think about it, what are we being taught these days? This is your life, you have a short life, enjoy it and live it the way you want. And our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us that haya dictates that you think about the hereafter rather than this world. And whoever has haya, they will live for the hereafter, not for this world. They will live for the hereafter, not for this world. So my dear respected brothers, when we and our children who are growing up, when they learn this, that this is my life, this is the world that I have to make the best of, this is the world that I have to fulfill every desire that I have been told from outside that it is within me, and now I have been made to believe that I am like this and I am this way. If they think that this world is everything, yes, they will go ahead. In the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you do not have haya, you will do whatever you wish. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if they have haya, they will be strong and they will tell ourselves, my desires are not important. If I think I am a certain way, that is not important. Because I am here only for 50, 60, 70 years. My life after death is more important. I am going to, even if I have unnatural desires, I will keep them suppressed and I will die in that state. When I say we'll kill ourselves, I don't mean that we'll commit suicide. It is that we will kill ourselves inside. No matter how strong that desire is, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the reason why I speak about these topics is that this challenge is very real, and we as an ummah, and we, the people who have the control of the pulpit, are not directly and openly talking about it, because we do not want to face this issue. Because maybe we do not think that this is real. This is a very real issue of the present day society. Our children are transforming. The reason they are getting those inputs from outside, and we as parents are sleeping. We do not care if they know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. We do not care if they know about haya or not. What we care about is how they will earn money. How they will earn money. Earn money and have good food on their table, and at the end do what? Pass it in the stool. This is what we care about. All their life, all their upbringing, whenever we have any input to give them, this is what we teach them. My dear respected brothers, our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us that when haya is not there, you will do whatever you wish. And when you have haya, you will prefer the hereafter over this world. These 50, 60, 70 years, even if a person, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we kept on talking about this last 2 weeks, that when Allah puts a person in a challenge, and those people place their trust on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and say and resolve that we will uphold the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah does make the challenge easy. But even if 60 or 70 years of life are spent suppressing ourselves constantly, that is totally worth it. Totally worth it. Because the life after death, for which we have been sent to prepare for in this world, is infinite, is limitless. If for these 50, 60 years, the pleasure of these 50, 60 years, we destroy our hereafter, in the words of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are stupid. We are foolish people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create the best of effects of what was said and heard over the hearts of the speaker and the listener. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ. Brothers who haven't prayed the sunnah, please do so now. Jazakallahu khairan.